Tamar Braxton, she is going at it again with WeTV. And this time, I think she is ticked off with her sisters. So you guys know that Tamar Braxton has her show, Get Your Life. There were 6 episodes. The season finale was not too long ago, and it came to an ugly end. Fast forward to today, and the trailer for Braxton Family Values aired, and Tamar took to social media and expressed how pissed off she was. So greetings, royal family. Thanks for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. So Tamar Braxton, right, getting to her show, she battled with producers, and she was kind of testy over the show footage during the series finale of her show Get Your Life, aired on WeTV, right? So Tamar said, I'm not sure if this is the best television situation I've been in or the absolute worst. This is what she told one of the executive producers, Michael, about filming the show, the 6-part show. So scene after scene, Tamar sat there and witnessed, her avoiding tough questions. She walked off the set. She refused to share the details of difficult moments. And that frustrated the crew. It was as if she was wasting everyone's time. In one episode, one of the producers, he got a call. Tamar wasn't home, but they were home getting ready to set up. Everyone showed up for work. One of the producers gets a call from Tamar's lawyer saying they have to evacuate her property. So it's just crazy. The work that we're supposed to be doing, we're missing. This is what Mona Scott Young is saying to Tamar in one of the scenes. She said, and that's very important for me. This is your ish. Now, we've seen Mona, if you watch the show, we've seen Mona really take Tamar's hand literally and say to her, you're going to get through this. Tamar did sit in that woman's office and agree to go through with the process, but she didn't really keep her word. Tamar walked off. She showed up late. She didn't want to be bothered. She shut down in true Tamar fashion. Anyway, Tamar, she sat stunned as she saw clips from the season for the first time in Mona's office. Many of them potentially triggering as they forced her to confront events in her past. Now, at the end of the show, only her lawyer could convince her to return to the set, and he directed the final questions in the interview. I thought that was extremely juvenile. I didn't understand the point of that. Tamar just completely shut down. Anyway, Get Your Life, as you guys know, it was originally scheduled to air July 30th, but it was delayed until September after Tamar's summer incident. Let's just call it that. And that took place 2 weeks before the premiere. So you guys know she was on Twitter and she was complaining about WeTV and all the stress and pressure that she was under, right? So the show was supposed to air July 30th. We thought that they were going to cancel the show completely, but they just pushed it back. Now, in a text message reportedly sent to Tamar's family at the time, Tamar wrote, allegedly, I am a slave. I do not own my life, my stories, my pictures, my thoughts, or beliefs. Now, throughout the season, she basically worried that the show might make her look bad. And she felt that she had primarily played the villain for 8 seasons or 7 seasons or however many seasons on their show, the Braxton Family Values. That's where we were originally introduced to her, right? So she still had doubts, during the finale about whether or not that she would regret it. She says, I don't know if this is the hardest or the wackest thing or the most horrible thing I've ever done, but I just know that it's necessary. This is what Tamar said. Not just for me, but for women like me. I believe in change and growth. Now, as the show opened, Tamar and her boyfriend, David, they were preparing to attend Trina's bachelorette party that weekend, right before her wedding. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And again, if you saw the show, it made it appear that Tamar was filming Get Your Life and also filming for the new season of Braxton Family Values. That's going to be important. Anyway, she and David, they discussed, the recent situation with Goldie, who I think was full of bleep. She's supposed to be this dream analyst, and, her and David, they did not get along. David felt that she might be practicing witchcraft, and, Goldie and David, they got into a argument on one of the episodes. I think was it at his birthday party? Yeah, I think it was. Anyway, and Goldie basically, she left. Goldie done got inebriated. Goldie looked a hot mess. She just says, I'm gone, goodbye forever. And David, he kind of attributes Goldie's departure with him praying and getting rid of that evil spirit. So that was David's whole thing throughout the show. Now, ahead of her sister's ceremony, Tamar, she was contemplating an engagement to David, but she admitted to a friend, James Wright Chanel, that she didn't, need a fancy wedding, just something simple. So she said the bigger the ring, the bigger the problems. This is what she said, saying that she wasn't going to risk her happiness, sanity, or health by taking on too much in her next marriage. She said, I've been there, done that, got a t-shirt, and I ain't wearing it. This is what she said. So they laughed and giggled as they ate and sat with one another. Now, the wedding was not shown, but her producer, Michael, said that he thought the bleep had hit the fan at the event. This is Tamar's sister's wedding. And Tamar returned from it in no mood to keep filming at the time. Now, David, he was so concerned by Tamar's behavior that he called in executive producer Mona Scott Young. And, that Mona is really, really, really something else, ain't she? How do I get over this hump so we can make the progress that we set out to make? This is what Mona is asking David. She has a really interesting tone. She has a way about her where she can come across as very convincing to get what she wants. Now, David, he said that he's seen twice. He twice seen Tamar go into a very deep place where he said he could almost not reach her. He said that she was almost in bed all day, sad, crying all the time. Now, the first time was when Tamar worked with Iyanla Vanzant. I will never forget that. Iyanla Vanzant is a self-help guru, and she was contacted. She didn't reach out to the Braxtons. They contacted her to help the family sort out their issues. And that triggered some memories for Tamar, put it that way, because something was brought up from her past, and I think it set Tamar off and caused her to shut down, and she was extremely disrespectful to Iyanla and the rest of her family members. Now, the second time, David is saying, was when Tamar had a hands-on situation with her sister, Tracy Braxton, in Napa Valley. That was shown in the last season of Braxton Family Values. And Tracy came back and said, you make it so hard to bleepin' love you. That was the final episode, Engaged and Enraged. I still remember my review. Thanks, guys, for making that a success. Anyway, David, he admitted that, he'd seen something at the wedding that left him stunned. He said that Tamar went into a room to see Tracy, and when she sat down next to her, Tracy allegedly grabbed Tamar's hair and bent her hand backward. And David says, she's obviously carrying a lot of deep set anger. This is what David is saying about Tracy. He said, I can't see a situation where Tracy sits here and Tamar sits here and I feel safe. This is David telling this to Mona. He says, he told her, and I appreciated him actually keeping it real and telling Mona this. He said there was a difference between high ratings on TV and a happy life. And I don't think that Mona liked that, because I don't think Mona can pull one over on David and emotionally manipulate him. I understand that Mona has a job to do, but too many people have said the same things about Mona who worked with her directly. And again, I understand she has a job to do, but to me, it doesn't seem like she has Tamar's best interests at heart. That's just my opinion, So Mona replies, that is a decision of free will that Tamar had to make prior to deciding to do this show. If you're not ready emotionally to do what you've set out to do, then you should not be doing it. Now, I agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree with that. And again, the first episode, Tamar sat down with Mona. Mona asked her, are you committed to this? Tamar gave her word, and she did not keep her word. Mona then called Tamar to her office to review show footage to discuss the end of filming. I feel like there was a lot of time wasted on shenanigans that had nothing to do with me. This is what Tamar said. It's unfortunate because what I really wanted to get out of this, I don't feel like I did. This is what Tamar is saying. Mona pointed out that Tamar was supposed to be having revelations and challenging herself more throughout the season. She showed Tamar the first episode of the show in which the singer had promised not to shut people out as she filmed the program. Tamar saw for the first time Goldie's situation with David and her brother-in-law Kevin discussing an incident in which Tracy's career-ending pregnancy was discussed. Tamar applied lip gloss, looked away, and said, "I am not a cleanup woman." Mona goes on to try to point out the work that we are supposed to be doing, we're missing. And that's very important for me. This is your ish. Tamar, she said, "I don't feel like, if I'm honest, that this is my ish at all. I haven't had control of what's going on." So, now Tamar is starting to say that everyone else is controlling her. She has no control. It's everyone else's fault. So to the cameras, Mona said that it was clear Tamar felt weighted down by the problems in her life that she hadn't dealt with, and she could tell that the singer was hurting. "I want to bring you back into the driver's seat of your life, of your show, of your situation." This is what Mona said to Tamar. Tamar replies, "Yes, yes." Mona left her office and Tamar watched it all the chaos, the craziness of the season, the many times that she walked out of conversations or had people shut off the cameras. So we know Tamar is good for that. She said, "That's why this ain't my show." This is what she said, storming out. "It depends on what they tell us." So as the finale, came to an end, Tamar, she was furious and she agreed to one last show. Michael, he started, throwing out a few questions, just asking her questions, asking her what it was like to have so many cameras around. Simple, innocent questions, right? I guess to kind of like test the waters. And, why her fans were different than other fans, just random questions. And Tamar, she wouldn't answer anything. He said, "Please, Tamar, just give me a little bit of you to work with." Then Tamar says, "Michael, don't say that. Don't say give me a little bit of you to work with. Like I haven't been showing up for the past 6 weeks and doing my job. You all stabbed me in the back. It wasn't that way. So let's not do that." See, and that's when she got up. And then she walked off. She pulled off her mic and then she walked off, right? Now, after 45 minutes of her offset, right? Everybody got to wait for her. That's when Tamar was encouraged to return filming and answering questions. But her attorney was the one answering questions. And you couldn't hear the attorney's voice at all. You could only hear Tamar giving a response. So Tamar, she looked in the camera, she was smiling, and she started to say, "I wanted to do a show because there wasn't anyone I could identify with when I was going through the most difficult transition in my life. I wanted to do a show where it's about empowering yourself and challenging yourself." She looked so, it's like the acting came out, right? Here goes the antics. She was not convincing at all. She goes on to say, "And learning to rely on yourself and starting to trust other people, because I have been in a situation where it has been difficult to trust people, including myself." Then she pauses and looks up at the camera dramatically. "I wanted to show all of my flaws and be open and honest about my battles. I don't feel like I was supposed to make it on the other side, and I did. And because I did, I feel the responsibility to help those who don't know how to get to the other side. It's crazy because people are expecting this person that's not who I am all the time. I could be a TV show for people. It could be a TV show for people, but for me, it's my calling." I'm like, what is she talking about? None of what Tamar said made any sense. None of it. None of it. She just basically said, like, none of this can't be produced. She ended filming the show at that point. And a few weeks later, she began shooting for the new season of Braxton Family Values. This is what it said on the program. Now, let's fast forward to present day. Did you guys like the video? This is going to be a long one, but y'all know I like the long, drawn-out videos. Just want to give you all the information. Now, this is according to TMZ. So, Tamar is livid. She is livid. You see what it says? So, Braxton Family Values is up for its 7th season, and the scary summer incident with Tamar will clearly be a focal point as her sisters and mother discuss coming to terms with what happened. Now, a new teaser for the show starts with Tony saying 2020 has been a hell of a year for their family, and she reveals that she was in a studio recording when she got wind of what happened to Tamar. Miss Evelyn says Tony broke the news to her and the other sisters, Tracy, Trina, and Tawanda, who were, of course, stunned. As previously reported, about the summer incident where 911 had to be called. Now, Tamar, she later opened up about the incident, claiming years of mistreatment in reality TV pushed her to the brink, and accusing the network of ignoring her cries for help. WeTV cut ties with Tamar shortly afterward, but made the decision to still air her spinoff reality series, Get Your Life, as it was intended. She was contractually obligated to film the show, and unless Tamar wanted to go through litigation, they had to air the show, Anyway, it seems Braxton Family Values, which premieres November 5th, will partly pick up where Get Your Life left off. And TMZ is reporting that the new season will also focus on Tony postponing her tour due to the pandemic and Tracy trying to reconcile with family members. Now, I am going to play this. I want to make this clear. If this part of the video is clipped out, it's because I had to, because I don't own the rights to this. I'm not trying to infringe on any copyrights. So here is the trailer. Like to hear it? Here it go.
2020 has been a year like never before for me and my family.
Wait a minute. One more time. I'm sorry. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta go. Like right now.
Tony called and she told me that Tamar was rushed to the hospital because she tried to commit suicide.
Don't say that, Miss Evelyn.
I was stunned.
Good. It stopped right on time. Whew. I didn't want Miss Evelyn to say that S word. All right, let's resume. So this is the trailer for season 7. You know what? Maybe it's not meant for me to play. So it just basically goes on and says, I was stunned. I was shocked. We got the call. You see Tony looks like she was in a studio when the situation took place, right? Okay. So now let's shift gears. This is Tamar's Instagram, okay? She also posted this on her Twitter. So Tamar is going to be on Tamron Hall's show next week, okay? October 28th. Now, I did a video recently where Tony put out a tweet or Instagram post where she called David a weasel. Tamar went onto her Twitter and said that, she appreciates her family all of a sudden speaking up for her, basically throwing shade. She said that David and her's relationship was not a bad one. She said that she just wants to heal in private. So you're now going on Tamron Hall's show on the 28th. Nothing wrong with that. It's your story. You can tell it. But listen to the caption. After waking up to that disgusting trailer, bleep, WeTV and whoever else participating for using my pain for their pleasure and ratings. Don't miss my exclusive tell-all on my girl Tamron Hall show next week. At some point, this abuse has to stop. It doesn't stop there, folks. It does not stop there. So Twitter was set ablaze, right? So Tamar, she goes on to Twitter. This is her Twitter page. This is what I just read to you guys. So someone said, wait, WeTV was recording Braxton Family Values when Tamar was going through it, and they still using it for ratings after she voiced her issues with them? That is crazy because I just saw it and wow. This is Ashley Miller. She does reviews on YouTube as well. She's funny as heck. So Tamar saw this and Tamar replied to this. Tamar said, no, pumpkin, that wasn't it. It's all restaged for TV and that's my bleeping issue. Remember, WeTV said we have parted ways in August. I am no longer employed by them and they are still using me and my hurt to make a coin. What show talks about old cast members? But Tamar, you were filming with WeTV for Braxton Family Values the same time you were filming for Get Your Life. They are not going to scrap that footage, whatever. So Tamar, what she's saying here is that trailer that was just shown, her family and production restaged that. So she is saying that when she went through her issue, her summer issue in July, she said that she was not filming with the show. Now, here's the thing. I knew that they were going to do that. I knew that they were going to make edits, and I knew that they were going to incorporate that into the show. Now, whether it was restaged or not, I don't know, because the timeline seems like, nah, that would make sense that they were still filming in July, but we don't know. So now WeTV and your sisters, Tamar, are against you, is what you're saying. So you're accusing your family and production of restaging, finding out about your summer situation. So now your family's against you now. Your sisters are all against you now. I'm just trying to understand. She also goes on to tweet, but the rest of the story you are going to have to catch Wednesday. That's when she's going on Tamron Hall's show. It's just so wild that everyone has had a chance to tell their stories about me. And when I want to tell my own, when I want to tell my own and how I choose to tell my own, I'm called crazy and unstable, bizarre. Tamar recently just said, I'm not even playing this again, last week, that she wants to heal in private. So I just, are the Braxtons, are all of them FOS? Are all of them full of it, y'all? What do you guys think? So she's accusing her family and producers of restaging the scene where Tony was notified about Tamar's summer incident. Again, you did film Braxton Family Values. They're not going to cut out the scenes that you were in, even though they parted ways with you in August. So what do you mean you weren't a part of the show? Yeah, you were. Again, you wanted to heal in private. So you're going on the Tamron Hall show to now tell your story, your girl Tamron Hall. I just feel that this is more damage control than anything, because she is supposed to be headed to court for the incident with David. So I don't know if she's attempting to try to clean up her image or try to make herself look good. I don't know. Now your family is working against you. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. But coming from Tamar, I just don't believe she's being truthful. I really, really don't believe that she's being truthful. So in a nutshell, in my closing, the Braxton Family Value airs Thursday, November 5th, and I will be watching. This is not a laughing matter. I'm not laughing at Tamar per se, because I do think that there is some pain there that's manifesting, unresolved pain that's manifesting in this irrational behavior. But at what, again, I've been saying this for the longest, at what point do you take accountability for your actions? It can't be everybody else. All right, Royal Family, I'm signing off because I'm exhausted from talking about this. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. Like the video if you enjoyed the video. Check out the other content on the channel. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. Click the notification bell. This way you won't miss out on any of my uploads. You do have to select all, though. So yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys or read what you guys have to say. The problem that I have with Tamar, I just signed off and I have more to say. Tamar does not take accountability for anything. She does not. You had T.D. Jakes. You had Dr. Sherry out in Atlanta. You had Iyanla Van Zant. You know, all of them told you guys the same thing. And Tamar acted out in each and every one of those meetings or those sit downs. She never takes accountability. So now your mama lying on you. Your mama and your sister lying on you now. So if Miss Evelyn is a liar, then let's rewind all the way back to when Harvey and them caught up with her at the airport. And she was on Sister Circle and basically said that, you know, Vince was getting hands-on with you. Was she telling the truth then? Are the Braxtons F.O.S. And you guys should know what that stands for. All right, Royal Family, I'm signing off. Thanks for listening and watching. And as always, until next time, folks, peace.